Leo, welcome to your mid-January 2019 love reading update. It's Raina here, shuffling the cards. And okay, now I gotta be very intentional here because I got a new spread that I've created. I've reinvented the wheel. It's really not that. Whenever you create a new spread, it's probably going to be pretty similar to what you normally do. Okay, I'm going to pick one more card. There's certain cards that just kind of rub me the wrong way for ending cards. It's funny, that just reminded me of like when I was a kid, you know, the rules of a game. Did you ever make up your own rules, or I don't know, create your own games and you could create your own rules? That's how I feel. That's how I just felt when I decided that I was going to do that. Okay, so your love life right now is represented by the Justice card. Before I continue, this reading is intended for people who are single and looking, or in a relationship that is having problems. Either you're in that relationship or you are getting out of it, or or you're separated, estranged, what have you. So I didn't even say what card this is. The Justice card is the card, I was looking to make sure it was number 11, because in some decks they have it as number 8, but in the Rider-Waite it's 11. The Justice card is self-explanatory if you're going through any kind of divorce, obviously, or legal separation. The Justice card is connected to the sign Libra, and Leo and Libra are compatible, except when they're not, right? And just because two signs are compatible doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to work out. And the same applies for signs that are not supposed to be compatible. So the other thing here that I notice is that the Empress card is also in the mix. So that could be a Libra too. The Empress connects with Venus, and this could be Taurus. Another one of your favorite signs. Of all the earth signs, you're probably attracted to Taurus or Libra. So this could be like either you have met somebody of the sign of Libra, has a strong Libra signature, maybe they're rising sign, so they may be very polished and attractive, handsome or pretty, and a good dresser or something like that, very polite. Or it could be somebody who is just simply of that sign. Usually, that's one of the reasons why I was describing it, because you might not know what their rising sign is, but they may have that kind of just very polished kind of a, how do I put it? Appearance or something like that, or demeanor. So in any case, this card is about fairness. So it can simply be that you're in a relationship with somebody where you feel that the scales are imbalanced, and that perhaps either you are doing too much in the relationship, or that the other person is controlling too much in the relationship. And whenever there is a sense of an imbalance of power or an imbalance of energy, where one person is contributing a lot to the relationship and the other person isn't, there can be feelings of lack of compatibility. And Leo is a very generous sign. So if this is a financial situation, you are not the kind to kind of close your purse strings, or whatever you want to call it. You are very open and giving. And sometimes this attracts the kind of person who doesn't want to give in return. And you're not the kind of person to keep books and say, oh, I gave this to you, why aren't you giving to me? That's what a truly generous person is like. But you're not like that. However, it can kind of go into other areas where the person is very dependent financially, and therefore they become problematic because maybe they are having all kinds of irresponsible side effects or whatever you want to call it, where they are shirking responsibility, and you are left to clean up their messes. So it could, that's just one possibility, but let's look at the past position because that will give us more information here. So the past, we have the Knight of Swords, and this can be a very kind of a chaotic individual. And somebody wrote to me and said, is this for men too? Because sometimes I assign gender, and please don't ever get the feeling, even if I say this is a male, that means that it cannot apply to both men and women. I just feel comfortable in certain circumstances doing so. And this could, everything I'm describing here could be a male Libra, for instance. If so, they may have Aries, and that makes them more rebellious. The Knight of Swords can be a lawyer, though. And so this may be that you consulted a lawyer, and now you are seeing justice. It could just simply be the status of your love life. It's also possible that this is describing this individual. Now, this person can be very blunt in speech. They may not be very sensitive to your needs. I think Leo people get along with this Knight of Swords. So it's not necessarily anything bad at all. You are going to respect people who can kind of tell it like it is, because you have that ability yourself. The problem is they may not be ready to settle down. The Knight of Swords is someone who has both air and fire, and both of these are masculine energies. Masculine energies tend to kind of like avoid settling down right away. They may need to grow up, and this could be, by the way, I mean, women sometimes cannot settle down when they are quote-unquote supposed to, whenever that magical age is. If you want to say late 20s or early 30s, nowadays that tends to be the time when people settle down. And this can mean that this person, you may think this person is the perfect partner for you, and you may be very intrigued by them because they could be highly intelligent and they're very outspoken, but they may be passionate about certain issues that they think, like injustice. But the problem is that if you're looking to settle down, they may not be ready. I think I had the same theme with Aries, so it's kind of interesting that it's repeating itself. Another fire sign. And fire signs are the same way. You tend to be very independent, so it's not like you don't understand why they feel the way that they do, but you may just be in a different headspace, if you will, where you're just ready and they're kind of holding back. Perhaps they're even younger than you chronologically. What is crossing you is represented by the Empress card. Now the Empress card, you can see the symbol for Venus, by the way, there, is that, again, these are the two signs that represent, or they're ruled by Venus, which are Taurus and Libra, so it might be saying that this is not necessarily the right person for you. Of course, other factors would have to go along with that. Now, just in case you're interested, somebody was telling me that on her gown, those are pomegranates, and that, because pomegranates have so many seeds, that is symbolic for fertility, I believe. And this is a card of fertility, of the mother, and so if you have a baby on your brain, if you're somebody who wants to have a child and yet you are in a place where it seems like you can't find the right partner, don't try to make it happen, or don't allow impatience to get the best of you and then you pick somebody that isn't the right person, because this Knight of Swords person, they tend to come into town on this wild horse and they leave just as quickly. This is like the perfect symbol for this card. You can see how this person is very, very, driven, holding the sword. It's like the sword represents an ideal or a thought, and this person is very committed to that. But they're also, the horse is kind of like leading the way, and the person is, you're not quite sure if the horse is controlling them or they're controlling the horse. And that is symbolic of maybe their passion, but also that manic energy that might be a little bit much for somebody who might be trying to settle down. Also with the Empress, again, with the sensuality, I had the same thing with Aries, but I don't know if it was in the same position. But watch out, Aries and Leo are two signs that I think are two of the most sensual signs, or sensuous. I guess you can say either one. And the problem is that you may choose a partner based on your physical attraction to them and not looking at the bigger picture, and then regret that, because if you were to get pregnant or get somebody else pregnant, or get this person pregnant, if you happen to be a male, that might work against you, because you'll have to be with that person. Even if you don't live with that person, you have to interact with them for the next at least 18 years. So you have to be careful about that. Also, if we look at it just for a single person, you may be with somebody who is quite in a hurry, so to speak, that they're kind of rushing you. Be careful if you've just met somebody who is kind of pushing you into this relationship and making everything go fast. Maybe they're impatient to just cut to the chase. Oh yeah, come on, we're attracted to each other, we like each other, let's move in after a month or two. And that is a red flag for sure. And you may be the kind of person where you just get carried away when you get infatuated by someone, but really consider where their head is at, because they may be trying to push you into something prematurely for their own purposes. And you may have just come from even like a divorce or some kind of a situation that related to a relationship that the law was involved in, and now you're getting involved in something else. So make sure that you are, and this may be concurrent. I mean, this could be happening at the same time, where you have met somebody and you're also ending a marriage at the same time you've met somebody. And you have to realize that you don't want to rush back into something. Take your time. And one of the signs that the Empress rules, Taurus, is very deliberate in its actions. So you may want to act more like that. But because the Empress is representing the kind of the downside of the situation, it might be more of a sexual attraction than it necessarily is a romantic attraction. So only you can decide what is there. And who knows, maybe the Justice card is indicating that this is a rebound situation where you have ended an old relationship, and now that you're free, you just want to feel like you're desirable. but it's not necessarily anything that is permanent. And sure enough, what we have coming in, or this can also be the advice, the Death card, is talking about an irrevocable ending, a transition. And also, I think with transition, if you have gotten divorced, you don't necessarily want to start a new relationship. You want to have that period of time of getting used to the new status of your life. The Death card connects to Scorpio, so there could be like a Scorpio person coming into your life. That's another sign that you tend to gravitate to like a moth to the flame. You know, of all the water signs, you just really have an affinity for Scorpios. And so that might indicate that there's somebody of that ilk coming into your life. And the outcome is the 9 of Wands. I wanted to pick a clarification card. I get a kick out of this person's face because it's kind of like indicative of what this card represents. There's a wariness. There's maybe having a wall up because of perhaps things that have happened to you. If you have ended a relationship, then maybe it was very challenging, and you're kind of like, okay, you know, is this person going to do to me what that other person did? And you're kind of like a little bit paranoid or nervous. That could be the 9 of Wands. However, it's also a card of just having boundaries, where it's like, it's not just anything goes anymore. Maybe you've learned a few things from a past relationship, Leo. And so I picked an additional card, and I'm glad that I did, because I got the Page of Wands. And this is more of the beginning of something new, but it's good news. It is, you know, you hear something that really lifts your spirits. This can be a new relationship that feels very passionate, that feels very exciting, where you feel alive again. And who knows, maybe it is with that Knight of Swords individual. It's possible. They certainly can really be provocative, and maybe you enjoy a great mental rapport with this person and they enliven you. But in any case, you feel you're starting a relationship perhaps with the Page of Wands, or at least talking to somebody that really interests you. Okay, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. I hope the rest of your January is awesome. Take care. Bye.